think that brings us quite nicely then to my favourite part of the show, Culture Swap.
Way.
So Liam.
So Jack.
Remind our listeners of what I suggested you watch. No, play.
So last time we decided to mix things up a little bit, and we decided to do games. Now, before you kick off, they're not real games, I'm sorry, but apps that are games count as games.
Now, I would like to very quickly point something out.
Yeah?
I believe what you told me was we were picking apps, not that we were picking games.
Well, we were doing games.
I probably wouldn't have suggested the thing I suggested for you.
It's a game.
Oh, my one is a game. Oh, I haven't... Yeah, my one definitely is a game.
Yeah, and the thing so this is the thing, right? People will be like, for example, people who are maybe a bit snobby about games would be like, oh, Candy Crush isn't a game.
It's not.
I'm sorry, it is a game.
It is a game. What the issue that you've got there is that the people you're referring to, people that would say this isn't a game.
Yes.
They are referring to the difference between casual games and actual games.
No, and I get that there's a difference, right? For example, you wouldn't compare a game like Candy Crush to Call of Duty Black Ops 3, for example. No. They are very different things. They're kind of like comparing an episode of Big Brother to an episode of Breaking Bad, for example.
Yeah, no, I get what you're saying. I'm on your side.
Yeah, it's different.
I feel like you're just a little bit butthurt from the blab we had, where a lot of people shouted at you and said this wasn't a game.
And they were all wrong.
Correct.
Exactly. So the game you gave me
Go on.
was Her Story.
Yep.
Developed by a guy called Sam Barlow.
Okay. And
the basic premise of the game is you're a detective and there's been a murder. Something is afoot and you've got access to all of these video files, but you can only see 5 of them at a time, and if you want to see more, you have to search through a database using keywords, and then if that word is mentioned in the video file, it will come back as a result.
Yep. Just to quickly point out to people, this will have spoilers in it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to try and not spoil it for a bit, just because...
Yeah.
It's a good game, and I feel like if you haven't tried it, and you're curious about it, definitely give it a go.
Yeah, honestly, don't keep listening to us when we get towards that bit.
Exactly, and it's very much... we're talking about how there's a wide spectrum of games, and this would, I say, fall on the periphery of that spectrum, because it's not, like a beat-em-up where there's a lot of button mashing or whatever. It's literally just searching for words and then trying to piece a puzzle together in your head. You
say that, but it's not... When you say that, we were talking about casual games and proper games. I'm air quoting there.
Yeah.
But... this wouldn't fall onto the casual game spectrum at all.
This is not a casual game.
This is not a game you can turn on, watch a couple of the clips, then leave for 2 weeks and try and finish later.
No, I completely agree, but it's also not like most of your games where there's a lot of controls.
Yeah, but that's not... you're differentiating in the wrong way, because the difference between casual and a proper game isn't how complex it is.
I'm not saying
a casual game is one
it's
you
a
can
casual
spend 3 minutes
game.
playing.
I'm just saying...
It's not a beat 'em up or a shooter.
What I'm saying is when you say game to people, they have a certain conception in their head of what you mean by that. And what I'm saying is this is not so much a game as it's literally just you typing in words and then watching the videos that play because of the words you typed in.
Yeah, well, I would disagree with you on that point.
There's no real gameplay.
Your definition of a game was there's not that many controls. So, sorry if I take a step back and say
no,
I don't think that's the definition.
What I'm saying is there's not much gameplay. There's not a lot of you interacting with the game. You type in a word.
No, but there is.
And you watch a clip.
Right, so let's start actually talking about it and not falling out over our definitions of things again.
Okay.
So one of the things that I really liked about this game when I played it, which was, sometime last year, is the fact that it's a story-based game, right? So
exactly.
There's this story, but instead of being the traditional, here's the story, go from point A to point B, maybe have some choices, this game is literally, you could type in a word, a random word, find a video clip, and be like, oh, okay, so now I know this really important bit of information, and that would change the entire way you experience that story.
That is actually what I think happened to me when I played it.
Did you start typing random words in?
It wasn't so much a random word, but I typed in a word, and something happened, and I kind of was like, right, I get what they're doing.
Okay.
And this was maybe, I think, my 6th search term that I typed in.
Did you take the advice that I'd given you off podcast about taking notes?
Yes.
Good, because I feel like that's a really important... I don't know why. That just added to it when I had like this list of words that I was like, I've got to go back and search that, because I think that's important.
So the way I played it is... so you start off with 5 clips, okay, that you don't have to search anything for, and it kind of, in those clips, certain names are mentioned. So I started by going through names. So I wrote down the names, searched for those. If other names or locations were mentioned, for example, I made a note of those. And then, quite early on, there was a clip where there was an object in the video. So I searched for that because I wanted to see if it's ever mentioned why that object is there. And that's when I kind of feel like it all started falling together very early on for me.
I feel like we've got to a point where we're going to be doing spoilers. So just everyone that's listening that hasn't played this game...
Wait. Before that, I would say, if you haven't played the game and you have a couple of hours to spare, it's worth giving a go. Because it's not your standard typical gaming experience.
Yeah, it is a completely different thing.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying earlier about the gameplay being very different. I get
what your point was. You were just making it poorly.
Exactly, but now I just made it perfectly.
You did. That was very good. All right, listeners, if you haven't played this game, go play it. Or, I mean, you can carry on listening, but we're going to spoil it.
Yeah, and it is the sort of game where you kind of don't really want it to be spoiled.
No, you won't enjoy it if you know what happens.
Yeah.
Leave a little gap for people to leave. See you later. Yeah, come back later when you've done it. Just carry on listening. Oh, hi, welcome back, guys. So, her story's really good, right? Liam, the object you're talking about...
Yeah.
Was it the guitar?
Yeah.
See, now, what spoiler did that... not spoiler because you were playing the game, but what did that reveal? I know you get the songs.
Yeah, the song basically gives you everything.
Okay.
What
does the song give you?
About a blonde and a brunette, right?
Yep.
Who drown a man.
Yep.
That I think they were both interested in.
Yep.
Which is kind of what happens in the game. Oh, okay, obviously it's not drowning.
I'm starting to think, Liam, that you didn't solve the murder.
No, I think I did. So
what do you think happened?
There's 2 people.
Okay. You've immediately failed.
How?
Carry on with your theory. I'm just going to keep dropping in how you failed.
There's 2 people. There's Eve.
Yep.
And there's Hannah.
Yep.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
And...
You're wrong, but yes.
The one bit that I couldn't quite figure out, are they twins or the same person?
Okay, yeah, that's the big bit. So there's a bunch of clips later where I can't remember the search terms to get there because it's been so long since I played.
Yeah.
But you get to a point later on where you are listening to Eve talk instead of... Is she Hannah? I can't remember who the main lady's name is.
Yeah, the main one is Hannah, and then there's Eve.
So you can find the interviews with Eve, which are just interviews with her.
Yeah. But she looks exactly the same.
Yeah, because it's her. It's not a twin. It's her.
Right.
There's other things that lead to pointing out that she is the same girl.
That's what I couldn't figure out. So when I listened, right, let me explain.
Okay.
When I searched the guitar term and saw the song, my immediate assumption was these are the same people. So literally, my next search term was schizophrenia.
Yeah.
Then, as I listened more, to me, it felt a little bit like, right, maybe they're different people. I think it's meant to be open for interpretation. I don't think there is a definitive answer.
I think there is a definitive answer, but
I don't think
I'm very stubborn with these things, Liam.
Yeah, and like I said, the fact that I searched things like schizophrenia and nothing came up, like if that's kind of what I was looking for.
Schizophrenia isn't split personality disorder, so that was your main mistake.
Alright, but that was just an example. I also typed in split personality and shit.
But that would have been... See, that's the thing. The way they made it is really clever.
Yes.
Because they must have written all those scripts.
Yes.
For those scenes, and specifically being like, we can't say certain things, because that would be... If someone searches that, that's it, over.
Yeah.
So I think it's such a well-made game.
It is. It is really well made. What I will say is, I don't think a phone is the best way to play it.
No, it's not.
I think like if I'd have played it on a laptop or desktop or something.
I don't know, on the phone, does it look... Yeah, so it gives you the desktop and stuff. Does it still give you the monitor flicker where you can see the reflection of the character? Yeah. See, because playing that on the desktop, you're like fully immersed because you're like, oh my god, I'm on a desktop. He's on a desktop.
Yeah. And again, it plays into that whole idea of reflections.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. Like, I think the theory of it being split personality is the one that is the most almost obvious in a way.
No,
like, it
'cause
makes
the twins,
most sense.
Again, Liam, the twins is the most obvious.
Depending on how you see the story.
Yeah, I think that was the reason I enjoyed that game so much.
Yeah.
Was that it was so. I love the idea of you finding the story yourself. Like, the story's there, it already exists, but you're piecing it together yourself and following your own trails.
Yeah, you know, it was a fine game. It passed a couple of hours. I wish I played it on desktop instead of a phone. For me, I associate phone games with like great poopy games.
Yeah, this is not a poopy game. This is sit down for a few hours and play this game.
Yeah, this is like when you're doing a poop. But if a normal person's doing a poop, this is not the game for them.
I don't sit on the toilet for 3 hours.
You said earlier when you were reading, you spend hours.
I didn't say hours.
Well,
I said an hour.
Well, but yeah, you know, not a bad game. And the woman, Viva Cypher,
Yep, sure.
Viva Cypher, she's really good.
Yeah.
Considering she kind of has to really carry the entire game.
Yeah, because she is the only person you see. I think you see like a couple of arms maybe every now and again of someone else.
Yeah, maybe. But I mean, yeah, it's all about her, and she gives a good performance. And the fact that her performance was ambiguous enough that you were never quite sure who it was you were watching was also quite well done.
Yeah.
So, you know, for you, a surprisingly good recommendation for once.
Well, don't keep your hopes up. What would you have given it, Liam, out of 5 on your rating system?
3.5.
That's a surprise to me. Everything this week's been 3 or 3.5.
The only thing that stops it from being a 4 is how short it is. And not only how short it is, but, you know...
But again, that's not something in their control. Can you penalise it for that?
No, and once you've... Well, I guess the other thing is, it's my fault it is that short, because I didn't search for everything, which would have added time to it.
No, but even then, I'm not talking about that. I'm just talking about they can't control how quickly you discover the clips.
Yeah, sort of exactly. There's that. And also, the whole discovering the clips thing is a good, interesting idea for like the first hour, but by a certain point, you just want to figure out what's going on, and the actual fun of playing it is replaced by just wanting to figure it out.
Oh, see, I didn't get that.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, fine game, and I would recommend, if you have the opportunity to play it, do it on desktop, not on phone.
Yeah, agreed.
But it is also a shame that I didn't like it enough to want to hunt down all of the clips.
No, yeah, but I really enjoyed it, and I didn't hunt down all the clips.
Yeah.
Because I felt like to me, it wasn't about finding the clips, it was about finding that story, or making your story.
Exactly.
So when I finished, I think there was about 20 minutes afterwards where I was trying to wrap up some loose ends and stuff.
Yeah.
But once I felt like I'd built a story and got from point A to point B and had satisfied my curiosity, I was quite fine turning it off and being like, I don't need to find everything else.
So, but what if there's a clip in there that like completely proves?
Yeah,
there's
100%
a twin.
right. Genuinely, I thought that at the time, but my thought process on it was, I was like, I've built my story. I'm so much happier that this is a game where me and you could come up with 2 different theories.
Yeah.